very Merry Christmas and tell you how much we love you, and we just celebrate the fact that God brought us all together. And
Joel Osteen, a name synonymous with contemporary Christianity, is known for his optimistic, motivational sermons that reach millions around the world each week. His broad smile, thick curly hair, and charming southern drawl make him an instantly recognizable figure in both religious circles and the broader media landscape. As the senior pastor of Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas, Osteen is often regarded as one of the most influential figures in the American church today. His broadcasts and books have inspired millions, yet his rise to fame and the public scrutiny of his personal life have brought him both adoration and criticism. While Osteen's sermons are celebrated for their positivity, focusing on themes such as God's goodness, personal growth, and self-improvement, they have also attracted significant controversy. Many critics argue that his teachings prioritize self-help over deeper theological truths, with some even accusing him of diluting Christian doctrine. Amidst this ongoing debate, another aspect of Osteen's life that has garnered much attention is his marriage to Victoria Osteen, his lifelong partner and co-pastor at Lakewood Church. This relationship, which has been a significant part of his public persona, has often been the subject of both admiration and curiosity. Before diving into the complexities of his marriage, it is important to understand the background and journey that brought Joel Osteen to the place where he is today. The early life of Joel Osteen. Born on March 5, 1963, in Houston, Texas, Joel Scott Osteen is one of 6 children born to John Osteen and Dolores Osteen. His father, a former Southern Baptist pastor, founded Lakewood Church in 1959, starting with services in a small converted feed store. Joel's mother, Dottie Pilgrim Osteen, was an author and a devoted follower of Christ, with her own significant influence on Joel's life and faith. Growing up in a Christian household, Joel was exposed to religious teachings from an early age, but it wasn't until later in life that he felt a clear calling to ministry. After graduating from Humble High School in 1981, Osteen attended Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where he studied radio and television communications. Although he did not complete his degree, Osteen's passion for communication and his growing faith led him back to Houston in 1982. Soon after returning, he began working behind the scenes at Lakewood Church, producing his father's televised sermons. For nearly 2 decades, Osteen worked quietly behind the scenes, learning the ins and outs of ministry and broadcasting. However, everything changed in 1999 when Joel's father, John Osteen, passed away suddenly from a heart attack. Just days after his father's death, Joel delivered his first sermon at Lakewood Church, marking the beginning of a new chapter in his life. By October of the same year, Joel Osteen was officially named the senior pastor of Lakewood Church, a church that had grown significantly over the years and was now looking for leadership during a time of transition. In 2003, Lakewood made a bold move by purchasing the Compaq Center, the former home of the NBA's Houston Rockets. This decision allowed the church to expand and reach even more people, further solidifying Osteen's place as a major figure in modern Christianity. The Osteen marriage. How Joel met Victoria. Joel's marriage to Victoria Osteen is a story that has intrigued many of his followers. The two first met in the early 1980s when Victoria was working at her mother's jewelry store in Houston. At the time, Joel had come into the store to purchase a battery for his watch, and their brief interaction would set the stage for a lasting relationship. Victoria was born on March 28, 1961, in Huntsville, Alabama, and grew up in a family that valued both education and faith. Her father, Donald Eloff, was a mathematician at General Electric, where he contributed to the development of the Saturn rocket. Her mother, Georgina Eloff, was a Sunday school teacher and the owner of Eloff Jewelers. Victoria's early years were marked by a strong sense of faith and family. When she was 2 years old, her family moved to Houston after her father accepted a job with NASA. Victoria, like Joel, was raised in a Christian home and was active in her faith from a young age. Despite their very different backgrounds, Joel and Victoria quickly developed a strong connection after their first meeting, and their relationship blossomed over time. The couple married on April 4, 1987, and together they have built a life centered around their faith and ministry. In a 2016 blog post, Victoria reflected on their marriage, calling it wonderful and acknowledging the challenges they had faced together over the years. She credited their enduring love and commitment to the decisions they made early in their relationship, such as learning to adjust and compromise. Victoria emphasized that their marriage was not based on perfection, but on unconditional love and a daily commitment to each other. The role of unconditional love in the Osteen marriage. Victoria Osteen has been candid about the importance of making conscious choices to nurture their marriage. In her writings, she explains that their relationship is built on the understanding that love is not conditional upon perfection or agreement. Instead, she believes in the power of making daily decisions that strengthen their bond and deepen their connection. This mindset has helped them navigate the complexities of their marriage, especially as both have taken on demanding roles as co-pastors of Lakewood Church. One of the key principles that the Osteens have applied to their marriage is the idea of choosing to love each other, even during difficult times. As with any relationship, they have faced challenges, but their willingness to embrace change, adjust to one another's needs, and commit to unconditional love has played a pivotal role in the longevity of their union. As parents, Joel and Victoria have 2 children, Jonathan and Alexandra, both of whom have been actively involved in the life of Lakewood Church. Jonathan, their eldest child, is 24 years old and serves in the church's youth ministry, preaching to the younger generation on Sunday nights. Alexandra, their 21-year-old daughter, is also musically gifted and plays in the church's band. The Osteens have expressed their pride in their children and their faith, seeing them as active participants in the ongoing ministry of Lakewood Church. The Osteen family's role at Lakewood Church. Lakewood Church, under the leadership of Joel and Victoria, has grown into one of the largest and most influential megachurches in the world. The church's messages reach over 10 million people weekly across 100 countries, thanks in large part to its extensive television broadcasts and online presence. Both Joel and Victoria have written numerous best-selling books, further extending their influence in the Christian community and beyond. Victoria's literary contributions, including books like Love Your Life and Unexpected Treasures, reflect her personal journey and faith. In 2010, she launched the Victoria Osteen Literacy Program, a charitable initiative aimed at providing books to children who may not have access to them otherwise. Her passion for helping others is evident in both her ministry and her outreach programs, and she has continued to support causes that align with her values. Joel, on the other hand, has written more than a dozen books, including Your Best Life Now, which became a New York Times bestseller in 2004. His messages of hope, prosperity, and personal growth resonate with millions, and his books have sold millions of copies worldwide. Despite his success, Osteen's wealth has been a source of criticism. Some have questioned the extravagant lifestyle that he and his family lead, given the vast sums of money that come from book sales, television broadcasts, and speaking engagements. The Osteens live in a mansion spanning 17,000 square feet in Houston's affluent River Oaks neighborhood, a property valued at over $10 million. The criticism and controversies surrounding Joel Osteen's ministry. Joel Osteen's rise to prominence has not been without controversy. His sermons, often criticized for their lack of theological depth, focus primarily on personal development, prosperity, and positivity. Critics argue that his teachings ignore critical aspects of Christian doctrine, such as sin, repentance, and the reality of hell. Osteen, however, has defended his approach, explaining that he prefers to focus on God's goodness rather than dwelling on negative aspects of life. He believes in inspiring people to live their best lives now, offering practical advice that empowers individuals to reach their full potential. Furthermore, Osteen's refusal to delve deeply into the more uncomfortable or controversial aspects of Christianity, such as the nature of sin or the reality of hell, has drawn the ire of many traditional Christian leaders. Despite these criticisms, Osteen maintains a significant following, with millions of people tuning in each week to hear his uplifting messages of hope and self-improvement. In addition to the theological critiques, the Osteen family's wealth and lavish lifestyle have raised eyebrows. Critics question whether it is appropriate for a preacher to amass such wealth, especially when many of his followers are struggling financially. Osteen has defended his financial status, asserting that he does not take a salary as the senior pastor of Lakewood Church, and that his wealth comes primarily from his book sales and speaking engagements. The Billy Graham Rule, a controversial marriage practice. One of the most peculiar aspects of Joel and Victoria Osteen's marriage is Joel's commitment to what is often referred to as the Billy Graham Rule. This guideline, which was followed by the late evangelist Billy Graham, discourages men from being alone with women who are not their wives. Osteen has explained that he follows this rule to protect his marriage and to avoid potential scandals, which have unfortunately plagued many figures in the Christian community. This practice involves avoiding situations where temptations could arise, thus safeguarding the integrity of his relationship with Victoria. Critics of the Billy Graham Rule, however, argue that it can hinder professional relationships, especially for women who may find their career opportunities limited because of the rule. Others argue that such policies could inadvertently promote gender inequality, as it may suggest that women are inherently a threat to men's moral integrity. Nonetheless, Osteen defends his practice, explaining that it is a personal commitment he has made in order to honor his marriage and avoid temptation. Marriage advice, a pastor's unique take. As Joel's popularity grew, so did his platform to share personal insights into his own marriage. One of the more unusual pieces of advice he offered to married couples was a suggestion for wives to visit Victoria's Secret and buy something attractive. While this might sound out of place coming from a pastor, it reflects Joel's belief in the importance of maintaining a physical connection within marriage. In an interview, Joel explained that wives should not only look good for others, but for their husbands as well. He believed that making an effort to look attractive for each other was a key part of keeping the marriage fresh and exciting. Victoria, for her part, supported this advice, suggesting that women should not let themselves fall into the habit of wearing the same old bathrobe every day. She emphasized that couples should make time to look good for each other, not just for the outside world. This stance on marriage, particularly from a high-profile pastor, was not typical advice one would expect from a public figure with a large Christian following. The Osteen's approach to marriage, which blended traditional Christian values with an emphasis on physical attraction, set them apart from other evangelical figures, often raising eyebrows. A relationship built on faith, adjustments, and compromise. What is perhaps most striking about Joel and Victoria Osteen's marriage is how they have managed to navigate the challenges of public life together. Their relationship is one based on unwavering faith, mutual respect, and a commitment to making adjustments for each other. In a blog post on Joel's website, Victoria opened up about the early struggles in their marriage. She shared that, when they first got married, she was set in her ways and felt unhappy when things didn't go as she had envisioned. However, she credits her relationship with God for helping her see that relationships require compromise and understanding. One particular moment she recalls is when she felt God spoke to her clearly, saying, "Victoria, if you don't change how you are acting, you will change the man you married." This revelation shook her deeply, making her realize that she had to adjust her expectations and attitude if she wanted to preserve the relationship. Joel and Victoria are both quick to admit that their marriage has not been without its difficulties, but they have worked hard to overcome them. Despite the challenges, they emphasize that they do not argue. Instead, they choose to walk in love, agree to disagree, and treat each other with respect. Joel has spoken in several interviews about the importance of humor and mutual respect in a relationship. He describes Victoria as easygoing, spontaneous, and fun, noting that her laughter brings joy to their home and sets a positive tone. Joel himself is known for his positive, motivational speaking style, and he brings this energy into his personal life. Even after 3 decades of marriage, Joel and Victoria continue to prioritize each other's happiness, making time for laughter and shared moments of joy. The controversies surrounding their marriage. However, despite the seemingly strong foundation of their marriage, Joel and Victoria have faced their share of public controversies. One such incident occurred in 2008, when Victoria was accused of physically attacking a flight attendant on a flight from Texas to Colorado. The incident, which allegedly took place after a spill on her armrest, was not cleaned quickly enough, led to a lawsuit. Sharon Brown, the flight attendant, claimed that Victoria verbally and physically attacked her and another attendant, even pushing her against a bathroom door and elbowing her in the chest. Brown sought 10% of Victoria's net worth as punitive damages, which at the time was estimated to be $100 million. The case was widely publicized, and there was a great deal of speculation about what had happened on the flight. Some witnesses suggested that Victoria had shown disregard for the flight attendants, particularly due to their race. Both Joel and Victoria denied the allegations, stating that there was no physical altercation. After a brief deliberation, Victoria was found not guilty, but was still ordered to pay a fine of $3,000 for interfering with a crew member. The media firestorm surrounding the case was just one example of the scrutiny the Osteens have faced over the years. In addition to this incident, Victoria Osteen found herself at the center of controversy in 2014 after comments she made during a sermon were widely criticized. In a brief video clip that went viral, she suggested that Christians should not obey God solely for God's sake, but for their own personal gain. This statement sparked outrage within the Christian community, with many questioning her understanding of faith and the purpose of obedience to God. Joel, ever supportive of his wife, came to her defense, explaining that her words had been taken out of context. This controversy highlighted a deeper issue within the Osteens' ministry: the blending of faith with personal prosperity. While Joel has long been criticized for preaching a prosperity gospel, which teaches that faith and positive thinking can lead to material success, the couple's personal wealth has only fueled this criticism. The Osteens' luxurious lifestyle, which includes a mansion worth over $10 million in Houston's River Oaks neighborhood, has been a source of public debate. Critics argue that the couple's wealth is a direct result of their church's nonprofit status, with some accusing them of using their ministry as a vehicle for personal financial gain. Navigating public and personal expectations. Despite the controversies, Joel and Victoria have continued to present a united front, emphasizing that their commitment to each other and their faith remains unwavering. Their marriage, like their ministry, is built on a foundation of faith, but it also includes a healthy dose of humor, compromise, and mutual respect. The challenges they have faced, both in their personal lives and within the public eye, have only served to strengthen their bond. However, the scrutiny they have faced also serves as a reminder of the difficulties that come with living a public life. While many view Joel and Victoria Osteen as role models for strong marriages and family life, others see them as symbols of the excesses and controversies within modern Christianity. Whether it's the accusations of greed, the backlash over their views on marriage, or the publicized incidents that have plagued their lives, the Osteens have shown remarkable resilience in the face of adversity. Joel Osteen's marriage to Victoria remains one of the most publicized and scrutinized aspects of his life. Despite their personal struggles and public controversies, they have managed to maintain a sense of unity and commitment to each other. Their story is one of faith, love, and the challenges that come with navigating life in the spotlight. As they continue to lead Lakewood Church and spread their message of positivity and faith, their marriage serves as a testament to the importance of love, respect, and the willingness to grow together through the ups and downs of life. The prosperity gospel debate. At the core of Osteen's message is what is often referred to as the prosperity gospel. This controversial doctrine teaches that faith in God leads to material success, health, and happiness. Osteen has been a prominent proponent of this belief, preaching that God's blessings can manifest in physical wealth and personal achievement. Critics argue that this message can be harmful, as it suggests that those who struggle financially or face hardships may lack sufficient faith. The focus on material success over spiritual growth has drawn the ire of many theologians, including John MacArthur, who has publicly criticized Osteen's teachings as shallow and misrepresentative of Christian values. While Osteen has consistently defended the prosperity gospel, claiming that it encourages believers to live with faith and optimism, his critics maintain that it creates unrealistic expectations and distorts the true message of Christianity. For many, Osteen's approach represents an oversimplification of the complex and often difficult aspects of the Christian faith, such as sin, repentance, and salvation. His teachings, they argue, focus more on self-help and personal achievement than on serving others or following the teachings of Jesus. Criticism of Osteen's lifestyle. One of the most frequent criticisms directed at Osteen is his lavish lifestyle, which many view as contradictory to the message of humility and sacrifice central to the Christian faith. Osteen lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion in Houston and has been known to enjoy the comforts of wealth. His critics argue that his extravagant lifestyle, which includes private jets and a massive, opulent home, is at odds with the teachings of Jesus, who emphasized humility and service to others. This disconnect has been a point of contention for many who question whether Osteen is truly living in accordance with Christian values. Some argue that a pastor who preaches about God's blessings should be more focused on using his wealth to serve others rather than indulging in a life of luxury. Osteen, however, has defended his lifestyle, arguing that there is nothing wrong with enjoying the blessings God has provided, and that he uses his resources to support his ministry and charitable work. Allegations of inappropriate behavior at Lakewood Church. In 2011, Lakewood Church's special needs ministry, the Champions Club, became embroiled in a scandal involving accusations of inappropriate behavior by a volunteer, Alvaro Daniel Guzman. According to Radar Online, a female volunteer reported that Guzman had touched a special needs child inappropriately. The volunteer immediately alerted her superiors, and an investigation was launched, leading to Guzman's removal from his volunteer position. In the aftermath, Guzman was arrested and charged with indecency with a child, though the charges were later dropped after a grand jury did not indict him. Guzman subsequently filed a lawsuit against Lakewood Church, alleging that the church was negligent in its investigation and had failed to properly secure video footage that could have cleared his name. The case was eventually dismissed in 2012, with the judge ruling that Guzman had not provided sufficient evidence. While the case was legally settled, the accusations raised questions about the church's handling of the situation and its responsibility to protect vulnerable individuals within its ministries. The incident highlighted the potential risks associated with large church organizations and their volunteer-driven ministries. The Wedderburn lawsuit. In 2017, another legal issue surfaced when Lakewood Church was sued by the Wedderburn family, who accused a church staff member of assaulting their child. According to court documents, in 2014, a church employee allegedly threw a child safety seat containing a 3-year-old girl, Victoria Wedderburn, off a church pew. The child reportedly landed face-first on the floor, causing significant bodily harm and emotional trauma. The Wedderburn family sued Lakewood Church for negligence, seeking damages for the injuries their daughter sustained. Osteen's legal team denied any wrongdoing, stating that the incident was caused by third parties beyond their control. The church eventually settled with the Wedderburn family for $15,000, though the settlement did not include any admission of guilt. Hurricane Harvey and the Lakewood Church shelter controversy. In the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey in 2017, Osteen and Lakewood Church were once again thrust into the spotlight, this time for their handling of the storm's devastation. The church, which has the capacity to hold over 16,000 people, faced heavy criticism when it did not immediately open its doors to evacuees seeking shelter. Many in the public and media assumed that Osteen was reluctant to offer assistance, leading to accusations that he was more interested in protecting his church's assets than helping the community. Osteen and his representatives, however, claimed that the church had temporarily closed due to flooding in the area, and that they had intended to offer shelter once the situation was safe. Despite the criticism, Osteen's team maintained that they had been misunderstood. They argued that the church's decision to delay offering shelter was based on concerns about safety and accessibility, and that they had always planned to serve as a distribution center for aid once shelters reached capacity. In the end, the church did open its doors to those in need, but the controversy left a stain on Osteen's reputation and further fueled the perception that he was out of touch with the struggles of ordinary people. A tragic incident at Lakewood Church. The most recent tragedy to affect Osteen's ministry occurred in February 2024, when a woman named Genesee Iron Moreno opened fire at Lakewood Church during a service. According to reports, Moreno, who had a history of mental health issues, entered the church with her 7-year-old son and opened fire with an AR-15 rifle. 2 off-duty police officers responded to the threat, fatally shooting Moreno in the process. Tragically, her son was critically injured during the exchange of gunfire. The incident shocked the Lakewood community and once again thrust Osteen and his church into the public eye as they faced questions about security and how they handled the situation. The shooting brought attention to the issue of gun violence in places of worship, a topic that has become increasingly relevant in recent years. Osteen and his team issued a statement expressing their condolences and offering support to those affected by the tragedy. However, the incident left many questioning whether Lakewood Church, as one of the largest megachurches in the country, was adequately prepared to handle such a violent situation. Media perception of Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen's public image is a complex blend of admiration and criticism. On the one hand, he has a vast and loyal following, with millions of people tuning into his television broadcasts and attending his church services. His uplifting messages and focus on personal growth have resonated with many, including high-profile figures like Oprah Winfrey and former President George W. Bush. Osteen's ability to connect with a broad audience, including those who may not traditionally attend church, has earned him widespread respect from fellow pastors and spiritual leaders. Rick Warren, author of The Purpose-Driven Life, has praised Osteen for his ability to reach people who might not otherwise engage with traditional religious teachings. On the other hand, Osteen has faced significant criticism for his prosperity gospel teachings, his opulent lifestyle, and his avoidance of controversial topics like sin and repentance. Critics argue that his focus on personal success and material wealth sends a harmful message to those struggling with poverty and hardship. Others have questioned his commitment to the deeper spiritual aspects of Christianity, claiming that his teachings oversimplify the faith and fail to address the more challenging aspects of Christian doctrine. Despite the controversy, Osteen continues to be a dominant figure in the Christian world, with a massive following and a platform that reaches millions. Whether loved or hated, Joel Osteen remains a central figure in the world of modern evangelicalism, and his legacy is still being written. Conclusion: The Osteen Legacy. Joel and Victoria Osteen's marriage is a unique blend of faith, commitment, and controversy. Their relationship has endured for more than 3 decades, standing as a testament to the power of unconditional love and mutual respect. As co-pastors of Lakewood Church, they have impacted millions of lives, providing hope, encouragement, and practical advice to those seeking a better life. Despite the criticisms and controversies that surround their ministry, the Osteens remain steadfast in their mission to spread positivity and faith to a global audience. Their marriage, though unconventional in some respects, reflects the values they hold dear: love, commitment, and the unwavering belief that with God's guidance, anything is possible. Whether you agree with their teachings or not, there is no denying the influence that Joel and Victoria Osteen have had on the modern evangelical landscape. Through their marriage, ministry, and personal stories, they have shown the world the power of faith, perseverance, and the importance of making daily choices to strengthen relationships and live a fulfilling life.